What's up guys, welcome back to our Canucks GM mode. So in last episode we defeated the Anaheim Ducks in 6 games, and we're now up against the Calgary Flames in round number 2. Their record during the season was 49, 29, and 4. Let's just take a look at how their season went before playing them. Like, did they have a very good offense, or were they a good defensive team? And then we'll get into goals for wise. During the regular season, Calgary was a pretty solid team. They had 2.84 goals per game. Ours was better, just slightly, 2.88. So we're a pretty even offensive team. Defensively, let's see. Defensively, did I see Calgary down there? Oh no. Oh yes, we did. So Calgary had one of the best defensive goals against, 2.57. Which was tied for 6th in the league, only allowing 211 goals in comparison to us, which we had 2.72 goals per game and 223. So we let in like 12 more goals during the season. So they have a better defensive team, which is what it said on the like EA overall stuff. So power play percentage, Calgary's power play, if I could find it, was not very good. It was worse than ours by just a bit, 17.2%. So maybe we have a better leg up in the power play unit. But their penalty kill looks like it might have been the best. Yep, or second best. So they had one of the best penalty kills in the entire league, 88.6%, just below Washington, who had 88.7%. So Calgary might be a very good defensive team for killing off penalties, and it looks like they score a lot of shorthanded goals. So we got to be good on our power play and not take too many risks. Also, their home record was 21, 18, and 2, which is just a bit above 500. And then their away record was really well done, is 28, 11, and 2. And their last 10 going into the playoffs were 6, 3, and 1. So they're a very good team for the most part. So yeah, I guess let's take game 1 already. So game 1 in Calgary. So once again, we are starting off the playoffs on the road in the Scotiabank Saddledome, I think it's called now. I don't remember. First period, and we get 2 past Brian Elliott. Nice. So Bo Horvat opens the scoring first liner, obviously, and Jake Virtanen, who's on the second or third line. I think he's on the second line. He gets the second goal with a second left in the period, and we have a 2-0 lead after the first period. Second period, and it's 2-2 now. So Calgary answers back in shots. They're even 25-25 apiece. So Poirier and Shinkaruk, who's a former Canuck, not one of our former Canucks because we never traded him to Calgary, but he's part of a Jim Benning deal in exchange for Marcus Granlund, I believe. Oh no, and Troy Brouwer gives Calgary a 3-2 lead. What is this, guys? We had a 2-0 lead and we let in 3 unanswered. Not how you want to play to start off a series. Come on, we need to tie this game up, honestly, and we're not going to tie it up. So we fall down 1-0 in the series to Calgary. We had the good first 2 goals, but then they just answered right back. So Virtanen from Liljegren and Patrick, and Horvat from Fiala and Granlund is that. So let's just see. Was there anybody that was really badly minus 2? Okay, so it was the third line. Castles, Mantha, Chris Wyman was also minus 2. So yeah, that third line is the minus line right now for us. And Yoel Levy was even a minus 2, which is kind of surprising because he's usually not much of a minus player. So even though we lost game 1, I have faith that we could potentially come through with a win. So let's see if we get tied this series going back to Vancouver, because we definitely need a win, because I don't want to be down 2-0, especially with Calgary's away record being good. So Mikael Granlund opens the scoring less than a minute in, and that's the only one in the first period. We only had 5 shots, so we need to get a lot more shots, but we have the 1-0 lead, which is the important part. So second period, and we got 2 again past Brian Elliott, but this time we got to hold the lead. So we got 2 goals on 11 shots in 2 periods. We're lucky we're ahead, guys. We need to get maybe a bit more offense. And what was Hintz doing? He was literally right on top of Brian Elliott pretty much. to get that goal. That's pretty interesting. And it was at 9:11. So okay, let's see. Third period underway, and Sean Monahan scores early, and Spot Check ties it up. What is this, guys? Once again, we can't hold the 2-goal lead as we let in 2 goals early into the third. We're being heavily outshot too. If we could come through here with a W, it would be kind of lucky because we were really badly outshot, but we were getting a lot more in this third period. And we're headed to overtime for the first time in round number 2. They're outshooting us 32-25. If we could come through with a W, this would be a huge one, guys. Overtime underway. They're outshooting us by like 10 shots. Power play, and we'd score. Anthony Mantha, nice. So what a trade acquisition to pick up Anthony Mantha. He was he was the only part that we got in exchange for what's his name, Nikita Triamkin. So Granlund from Horvat and Kane, Hintz from Hutton and Boucher. Then we gave up the lead again, which I don't really like, and then Mantha from Evander Kane and Nolan Patrick on the power play, I believe. And 3 stars, Thatcher Demko and Anthony Mantha getting there for us, and then Sean Monahan for them. So not a bad game, but I still don't want to give up a lead like that again. When we have a 2-goal lead, we should be just locking it down, and our AHL team is killing it. 4-0 that's back-to-back shutouts, I believe, for Alexis Gravel. We have to remember just to keep updated with that always. So all the other series are all tied 1-1 as well, so that's also good for them, I guess. And we're lucky as well because St. Louis did not make it on to round number 2, so we are making on, so we won't even have to play them at all this year in the playoffs because they've won Stanley Cups a lot. And Mantha scoring early again, so Anthony Mantha with 2 goals now in this series, so he's being like the Evander Kane from last series. And we have a 1-0 lead after the first period again. But guys, I want 3 goals by the end of this, or well, not necessarily the end of this period, by the end of this game regulation, because we don't want to blow another 2-goal lead. That would just be bad. Second period, and once again it's a tie game. Rasmus Anderson tying the game up at 1. Oh, that's not good. And once again we gave up a lead, but we get it right back as Evander Kane makes it 2-1, and Troy Stetcher makes it 3-1. Nice 5-on-3 power play, and we get another one. Holy shit. Now we're lighting up Brian Elliott as Granlund made it 4-1. And now that we have a 3-goal lead, I think we should be able to hold them off. We shouldn't allow in 3 unanswered goals in like the last minute. It's not like the Ducks series where we let in 2 goals in the last minute. So that's the only problem with our team, is we're unable to hold leads, I think. We outshot them in that game 45-35, and we get a 4-1 victory. So not a bad game in there, as we actually held off their offense more. So Mantha from Patrick and Hutton, Kane from Granlund and Horvat, Stetcher from Fiala and Patrick, and Granlund from Horvat. So nice game 3, as Demko gets first star, Granlund gets second star, and Horvat gets third star. Okay, so now that we have a 2-1 series lead, I'm still going to keep it the same, our lines. So let's see if we could take a 3-1 stranglehold on the series back home. Our AHL team lost their first game in the playoffs 5-2, so not a good game for Gravel, but he's had very good success so far in the AHL playoffs. Game 4 lead, or will be a tight period, and it's a good offensive first period, 1-1. Nolan Patrick ties the game up after Matthew Tkachuk takes the lead for Calgary, so shots are 12-10 in favor of us though. Both goals were in similar spots for both teams, so that's interesting. Second period, and it's still 1-1 going into the third period. We're out shooting them 25-20. Let's just get a couple more goals, guys, in the third like we did last game. And there you go, Reed Boucher on the 4th line coming through with a goal. All the depth that we have, I guess. Well, we don't really have much depth, but Reed Boucher comes through with a big goal for the. And will it be enough? Yeah. So Nolan Patrick from Bertanen and Boucher from Hintz and Stetcher. So we have a 3-1 series league headed back to Calgary. I'm not I'm not saying that Calgary is going to be eliminated right away. I think still this series could go 6 games. Just because I feel like Calgary is still a good team, that they won't go out this easily, especially in front of their home crowd. So no has some morale. He likes the extra minutes, no problem, buddy. I don't know if you like calming or demanding. He doesn't like calming. Okay, now I know for future reference. And let's do this. Let's see. So some people like demanding, some people don't. Okay. So how are the other series stacked up? So we have a 3-1 lead. Dallas has a 3-1 lead on San Jose. So if we both get to the second round, we're going to be playing the Dallas Stars, which is kind of scary because they have Jamie Benn probably still, Tyler Seguin. Spets is probably retired. Not sure who else. Washington's also up 3-1. And then Rangers and Sabres are tied at 2. Okay. So can we end the series here tonight in Calgary? Be huge, and it would be another 4-1 series. So we're going to slow some, I guess, this entire game to see if we could win it. Both teams trading early power plays and have around the same amount of shots, so this is a pretty even start. But both goaltenders are playing decent so far. Power play for us, and we don't get anything. And Sam Bennett opens the scoring for the Calgary Flames, goddammit. Shots are 11-8 in favor of us, but we are down by 1 goal, so we need a good offensive second period and maybe some early third period goals too, and maybe we could win this game. But like I said, Calgary, I don't know if they're going to want to go out playing again or playing on home ice. So power play for them, and they do not score. Good job, penalty kill. We're still keeping up with them in shots too, so this is still anybody's game, as it's a 1-0 lead, and the shots are only 19-18 in favor of Calgary, so that one extra shot was the only difference pretty much. Calgary's getting a lot of shots to start the third off, but still Demko's keeping us in it, and Emile Poirier scores, and it's a 2-0 lead for Calgary. So looks like after that bad last game, Brian Elliott is having a solid game in net, and looks like we're going to be headed to a Game 6. Yep, Game 6 back home, because Johnny Gaudreau gets a empty netter, and the Flames are still alive. So let's see. Okay, since none of our players got points, it doesn't really matter. 3 stars though. No, Demko did not get a star. Probably because he let in 2 goals, but whatever. And let's see, our HL team is down 2-1 in the series, and now that's a 2-2 series. Nice. And another shutout for Alexis Gravel. That's his 3rd in the playoffs. So Gravel's winning games down there. That's what we'd like to see. Hopefully he's ready for the NHL next season. If he's not, then maybe this season afterwards. So I'm not going to change anything once again with our lines, but let's see if we could end this series back home. If we lose this game, I might have to make some line changes. So first period scoreless, 14-5 in favor of the Flames of the shots, but Demko's having himself a pretty good game. Second period, and we got a 2-0 lead despite being outshot by 10 shots. Evander Kane comes through with the first goal of the game, and then Jake Virtanen comes through. So we are up 2-0 headed into the third, but can we hold this lead? That's what we want, guys. There you go. Jake Virtanen with his second, and we should be able to hold this lead now, because we've had inability to hold leads. I just like to see if we could hold the lead, and there's 3-1 now. And 3-2, what is this, guys? Don't buckle like this again. And we hold them off as Kevin Fiala gets a much needed empty netter. Holy shit. That was close. I thought when they scored those 2 goals that there was gonna get one as well in like the last minute and tie the game up, but Kevin Fiala with that clutch empty netter, and we are off to the Western Conference Finals. Was it? Yeah, we are. I didn't even think of it being an elimination game. So we are off to the Western Conference Finals with that win. So there you go, guys. First time we hit to round 2, and now it's the first time we hit to round 3 as Thatcher Demko makes 41 saves to get us there. Virtanen got 2 goals, and Fiala with a goal and an assist. Okay, so we're 8-4 in the playoffs, headed into round number 3. which we still have to find out who we are playing. So let's just simulate a couple days until we see who we have to play. So it's going to be the Dallas Stars that ended quickly. So, wow, Dallas finished with a 49, 22, and 11 record during the season. And in the West, or in the East, you got Washington and Buffalo. Interesting. So, let's take a look at the player stats again for this round, and then we'll check the Dallas Stars lines for round number 3. Glad we got this far, because like I said, we only have like 3 years to really win a cup, because we have a lot of people on 3-year deals. So, Bo Horvat picks up 12 points in 12 games. Kane with 11 points in 12 games. Patrick with 11 points in 12 games. He didn't have the greatest regular season, I think. He had like 50-something points. Yeah, 51 points, but he's put up 11 points in 12 games in here in the playoffs. So he's coming through kind of as a clutch player. Granlund 9 points, Vertanen 9 points, Fiala 7, Mantha 4, Hintz 3, Boucher 3, Castles, there you go, nice. Wyman still has no points in the playoffs, but whatever. If we get eliminated, I will have to probably send him down to the minors so he can get like a little bit of growth down there. Maybe win a Calder Cup too. Goaltenders, so Thatcher Demko, 1.78 goals against in 12 games, very nice. 8.30 and a 944 save percentage. Good stuff. Okay. So our NHL team is on to the Western Conference Finals for the first time. Wait, how is our AHL? I didn't check if the AHL team, what they did. So our AHL team is still 2-2. So we'll sim up to the first game in the conference finals. And did our AHL team win that? Yes, they did. Another shutout for Alexis Gravel. That's 5 shutouts in the playoffs. 3 in this second round. Wow. We might have found a gem with Alexis Gravel. So our AHL team is 1 game away from going to the whatever conference finals it is called down there. So let's take a look at the Dallas Stars lines. And then that will be it for this episode. So yeah, they still have Jamie Benn, as you can see on the side. Wait, actually I should compare the stats first. So currently it says they have better offense, 94 offense. So they're a pretty good offensive team, but their defense is weaker than ours, and their goaltending is a bit better than ours. So I guess they got rid of Kari Lehtinen. Well, Lehtinen probably retired. So let's take a look at their lines. Hopefully it's nothing too scary. So holy shit. Okay, that is kind of scary. So Jamie Benn 96 overall with a 94 Tyler Seguin. That's scary as shit. Then you got Derek Brassard as well on that first line, 88. So that's a very, very nice first line. 2 playmakers and a sniper. So I guess these 2 are going to feed Jamie Benn the puck a lot. Then you got on the second line, Anders Lee, Tyler Johnson, and Yuri Hubler. Kind of weak wingers here, 84 and 80, but a nice centerpiece in Tyler Johnson, especially behind somebody like Tyler Seguin. So that's a power forward, 2-way, and a playmaker combination. So there's no sniper on that second line. So that's kind of interesting. It might be more of a defensive line. Denis Gurianov, who's a sniper, 85 overall. Egan, 2-way forward, and Richie, power forward. So that might be another defensive line instead for Gurianov. Maybe they'll eventually move Gurianov up and put Hudler down here. I don't know. Then on the fourth line, you got Jason Dickinson, Drew Shore, and Brent Connolly. So another sniper and a couple 2-ways down there. So in total, it looks like they have like 5 2-way forwards, 2 power forwards, 3 snipers, and 3 playmakers. So this team might be a bit of a defensive team too. Then you got Julius Honka on the first defensive pairing with John Klingberg. Some more offense. Yeah, the power play is going to be really rough to play against them. Then you also got Nicholas Hansen. I guess this guy was drafted. Okay, he was an actual player. I thought he was not drafted. He was drafted in like 2017, but he's 26. So Hansen with Alexiak and Joe Morrow and Jordy Ben. So these 3 are incredibly weak, and Honka's kind of weak for a top 2 defensive pairing. So overall, I'm just more worried about John Klingberg because they have like 390 pluses. And in net, they have Martin Jones. Interesting. So 87 overall, so that's kind of tied with us. And then their backup's weaker than our backup. Marcus Russo, who they drafted in real life in 2015. And scratch, they have Seth Griffith and Emil Rasanen. This guy was the 18th pick in 2017. So this guy, I don't know why they're not giving him the ice time. Sucks for him because he's not going to grow to be anything huge, even though he's a medium top forward defenseman. He has 2 years left on his minor league deal as well, so hopefully he becomes a free agent. Maybe we could snap him up or something. But okay, so that's the Dallas Stars. So not the scariest thing, but their power play probably is pretty lethal. As you probably got like Sagan, Ben, Klingberg, maybe Guryanov as well. That type of idea. So anyways, guys, that's gonna do it for this episode of Canucks Jam Mode. So in next episode, we'll face the Dallas Stars in the Western Conference Finals and play for a chance at going to the Stanley Cup against either Washington or Buffalo. So thank you guys for watching. See you guys next time.